Hey there.
Hello?
What you doing?
Hi, I am pulling up my not so fun fact of the week.
As you should.
Thank you.
'Tis your job.
'Tis.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome. My name is Alyssa.
And I'm Marlene.
And this is What's Your Favorite Scary Story?
Your favorite podcast with your favorite people.
Yes, that too. We're number one.
We're number one.
Metaphorically. We're number one in your hearts.
In our mother's hearts.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
How was your week?
It's good so far. I had a good day today, and then I got like a weird eye migraine that I get here and there, and so that kind of put a little damper,
a little funk into the day.
Yeah, because like my head kind of feels like a migraine headache thing, and
it's no good.
I have to function. I'm not gonna let the night end like this. You know,
you can't let the good day go rotten.
You can't let the good day go rotten.
That should be on a t-shirt.
I love you, babe.
with like an apple on it.
It's just also the way that you said it and like the way you were moving your hands with it.
I'm very passionate about this cause.
You shouldn't let your rot apple.
What?
So
my week's going okay. I did.
Yeah, how's your week, babe?
I had my first like contact for like a possible job interview, but it's not gonna work out because like the pay isn't there. But that's okay. It was like kind of half expected, but it honestly just kind of at least like gave me some hope, you know?
Yeah, there's stuff out there.
Like it's possible. I just gotta keep trying. And I was just like getting, what's the word? Like kind of a little defeated feeling.
Right.
Because I hadn't heard anything.
Right.
And so it just was like, at least there's hope for me somewhat, somehow.
Well, I think you're going to find something, 100%.
I hope so.
You will. Just, don't forget that
What happened? Did you short circuit over?
I think so.
Oh no.
But yeah, you're already doing a good small portion by like putting in the applications and stuff you have to do,
I got it.
And then yeah, if they don't respond, then you reach out to them.
Yeah,
because that's what I would do.
I haven't done that since like my very first like legit job. It was just retail, but I remember I for some reason, I don't know, maybe my mom had mentioned it or I saw it somewhere, and I just like called them. I was like, I cared that much for some reason about the retail job.
Well, I'm sure you just wanted a job.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, but I did get it, so.
Yeah, so because I mean, applying is like one step, but like reaching out and telling him like, hey, so how's this going? Haven't heard anything, like, because sometimes they don't check in time.
They don't, like, yeah, no, I would say 95% of the places I applied to have not seen my application.
Yeah.
Because it shows me once they viewed it.
Yeah, so I would like shoot over an email if there's like no like direct number.
I guess like once I find something that I like would genuinely really love to work at, then I might do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, also if you get an interview and you just go and just like check it out, because sometimes you don't. Sometimes I mean, because we went through this last year, like the job place, the job title, the job description sounded and seemed more intimidating than it actually was.
Because a lot of them are seeming very intimidating.
Yeah, it's
for real.
Yeah, it's also like it has, I don't know if it's just like the place, like the area, the space, the state over here, like it's definitely different. And but no, you have to just break out of the box a little bit and reach out, and it's gonna fall in your lap, and you're gonna feel like how I felt, like fuck, there's nothing.
Right.
And
then you found a pretty dang good job.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky.
I'll keep at it, I guess.
I
don't really
have
a choice.
I believe in you.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you, honey.
All right. Well, are you ready for your fun fact then? Enough about me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so fun facts with marbles. I have a really short fact.
That's okay. You're
today.
short.
Thanks.
What else can I expect?
Right.
You're short. Thanks.
So I thought about this after our conversation with Heather about Chipotle, because if some of you don't know, Chipotle had a little. You wanna explain kind of what happened?
Basically, there was an outbreak, or at least it was finally being like documented, where like within the span of only a couple days, like it was not long on TikTok, I probably saw at least 10 videos of there being bugs in people's Chipotle bowls,
Right.
and every single bug was a different kind of bug.
Right.
And like people were like employees and other people were saying it was like the lettuce, and I was like, well, I don't get lettuce in my Chipotle order. But no, Marlene loves Chipotle.
Love.
And so I really like hated to break the news to her, but I knew if like she eventually saw it and then like had eaten Chipotle the day before, she'd be freaking out. And so I was like, I need to make her aware. But we did break down yesterday.
I broke down.
You broke down, and we got Chipotle. It was actually like some of the best Chipotle I've had in a long time.
So good. I was also really freaking hungry.
Hopefully it was minus bugs, but there's no way to know for sure.
If the bugs were in there, then they were pretty freaking delicious. So yeah, that's why I thought about this is a good one. So basically, according to the FDA, it's totally legal for your food to contain a reasonable amount of insect parts. Rodent hairs.
I'm going to stop you already. Who determines what a reasonable amount is? What does that mean?
Well, because, like, we also can't take out all the microplastics out of things either. So I feel like those things, as long as they're harmless.
So, because you said, like, bug parts.
Right, like a leg.
Right. These are, like, live moving bugs. Like, there was a full-on roach in somebody's bowl.
I don't know if I believe that.
I saw the video, babe.
How is a roach going to,
I don't know. Roaches survive everything, remember? They survived, like, the apocalypse when that happened last week, you know?
Okay, you should not believe everything you see on the internet, though.
Okay.
Especially on TikTok.
For me, it's, like, better safe than sorry.
I understand that, but, like a live roach? I mean, was it crawling everywhere?
Yeah.
Or what was...
Yeah, it was moving.
Like, very active around?
Not super active, but...
It was, like, alive.
It was definitely alive.
And moving in the bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. Unless there was, like, thousands of videos showing, like, look at these roaches in my...
That's the thing, like I was saying, like, they were all different bugs. So, like... Okay, say it's your hypothesis of someone's just, like, putting it in there and, like, to get clout online. But some of these bugs I've never, like, seen before. So, like, where would they even, like, find these random-ass bugs?
To like, put sneak on there if it was, like, planted.
Right, if it was planted. Like, I don't even know where I would begin trying to find, like, that kind of bug. Like, that would be such a random bug. I haven't even seen most of these before in my life.
Well,
anyways, continue with your fun fact. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. This is actually really disgusting, and I'm sorry if you are easily grossed out about roaches and Chipotle.
I'm sorry if you enjoy Chipotle on the reg, because we might be ruining it for some people out there.
Yeah, trigger warning. If you love Chipotle, you'll either end up like me and love it even more, or you just might not eat there at all, ever. But yeah, so there's, a reasonable amount of insect parts, rodent hairs, and mold. And,
rodent hairs?
And actually, a jar of peanut butter can have up to 30 insect fragments.
Oh my God.
And 1 rodent hair per 100 grams.
Babe, we have peanut butter downstairs. Are you telling me I can never have a peanut butter sandwich again?
Oh, but it gets crunchier, though. So your average person eats around 1 to 2 pounds of insects a year without knowing it, because they're baked into chocolate, ground into flour, or hiding in your salad greens.
Know what? That is
protein-packed.
That's better.
Salads.
That's better than the fact of. I mean, I know it's been debunked, but like the thing where people, the average person consumes 8 spiders every year, because they're saying that's like whole spiders just like crawling into your mouth when you're sleeping.
Supposedly.
It's very supposedly, but that fact like gets me more than these like bug fragments, I think.
Yeah, I guess so, because you're like actually eating.
Like there could be a whole spider in me right now.
Right, just like floating in your stomach acid.
I don't like it.
So basically how they determine what a reasonable amount of insect parts is that the FDA has like a document called the Defect Levels Handbook, and it outlines how many natural or unavoidable defects are allowed in food without posing a health hazard.
I see.
Which was what I was trying to get at, but you distracted me.
I'm so sorry. That was my question too.
But yeah, they basically test how often the contaminants show up in bulk samples, like bulk food samples, and then the experts determine whether the levels are likely to harm you or not.
Wow.
But yeah, the limits are based on like decades of inspection data and like reports that the factories have for the FDA.
That's like one of those like life questions that like would just keep my mind like spinning and spinning. Like how does one get into that job where they can like analyze food for years and like determine these facts? Like
if you have 1,000 roach legs and 100 grams, you're most likely gonna get sick.
Right. Like how does that get determined? This is wild.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, don't list any more foods, please. Because
I'm not going to list more
It's going to be a while till I have peanut butter again.
If it helps you feel any better, you've likely touched a doorknob touched by hundreds of other people and then show up at a restaurant and still eat the food with that same hand that touched.
Yeah, you haven't for sure.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I always make sure to wash my hands. But just remember, if you're walking into like, let's say a mall and you have to open up the door, like you don't know where that man touched last. Like you don't know.
You don't know.
That guy could have easily scratched something.
Someplace on his body.
Yeah, and like you're eating your
Cheesecake Factory.
Your Chili's chip with that salsa. With that, your hand.
With that salsa.
With that salsa, with like your contaminated.
With your man scratch hand germs.
Your man scratch hand germs. Yeah. Anyway.
Put that on a shirt.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess I'll give you some claps too, since you're already giving yourself them.
I hope that was good. I don't feel 100% right now. I was actually gonna call out.
Oh yeah, you were gonna call out from your not so fun.
I was gonna call out from the podcast.
And so I was like, well, do we have anything else interesting to talk about? And no,
I was gonna call my boss Alyssa and tell her, hey,
yeah,
I can't
your
make
boss.
Babe.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I take it back.
Yeah, I was gonna call in and tell my boss that I couldn't make it to the podcast today.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yes.
Wow, you might have been put on probation if you missed the whole podcast.
I mean, that's fine. I can find another podcast job.
Damn, okay. Love you too.
I'll start one with Marnie.
Oh, I would listen to that.
She wouldn't have anything bad to say.
She wouldn't. She's got like the purest heart. She's like, I got 2 brothers and they're sometimes mean to me, but that's okay because I still love them because they keep me company when my moms are gone.
Sometimes I get this itch on my butt. I can't really get it.
But then my mom shows up and she just starts petting me all over. She just knows.
And then my
Marnie podcast.
My mom's trying to give me treats, but it always hurts my teeth.
I really want to be thankful, but I can't always eat it sometimes. I'm just a girl. Anyways, do you want to hear my stuff I have for today?
I think.
I mean, we don't have to.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your full support. So, today, I actually have some more personal stories for you.
Oh,
Yay!
those are fun.
They are fun. It's like different. It changes things up,
yeah,
you know?
it does. I like those.
So basically, I'm just going to kind of be like alternating between... Is your stomach okay?
Yeah, I'm just like adjusting my roll.
Yeah, what is it called?
My roll.
No, in Spanish.
Oh, my lonja?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm adjusting my lonja.
Good. My roll.
My roll. That's what you call it, right?
Yeah.
A roll?
Yes. But yeah, I'm just gonna be like alternating between some Reddit stories I found and ones that were sent in to us by our lovely, lovely listeners.
Wow.
I guess while we're at it, before we get started, if you want to have your stories read on the podcast like these wonderful people, where could they send those to, and also suggestions for story topics?
You can send them all to whatsyourfavoritescarystory@gmail.com, or
you can send us a message on our Instagram, which is also going to be What's Your Favorite Scary Story.
Oh, and one more exciting news.
What?
I'm officially a college student again.
You are! Yay! I think this could be a record for how many claps we have in an episode.
Yeah, probably.
But it's deserved.
All with good reason, dude.
Yes. Good for you for having the willpower for that. Couldn't be me.
I start again in the fall, and luckily I was able to transfer all my credits over.
All of them?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Yay! I'm so happy for you.
That's so good. So
that's amazing.
I'm excited. I'll have more updates as we go along, but
I can't wait.
Yes.
I'm excited for you.
I'm determined to be a college graduate.
And I'm gonna throw her a party when it happens. Well deserved.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, let's get into our first story. So this one is from Reddit user Gel Jen.
Okay, Gel Jen.
Gel Jen says, I used to train horses in this big indoor arena with a small open section so you could see into the aisleway. Once I was riding a horse who was just rescued, so she was nervous of things moving quickly. Every time I rode past the aisle, these kids would run by and scare the shit out of the horse. He would freak out and spook, and I kept trying to call them over and ask them to go outside. I didn't think anything of it because kids were always in the barn. The next day, exact same situation. I call for my trainer and ask her to tell the kids they need to stop running around. She looks at me so confused and says, no one has been to the barn all week.
Wow.
Even in the cameras, we saw no one was in the lot or anything. But not only did I see them out of the corner of my eye, the horse did too.
Yeah, the horse reacted.
The horse got spooked.
Whoa, that's crazy.
It's creepy. Yeah, these are pretty short, but I think we got some good ones today.
Okay, good. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's kind of creepy.
Poor horse. It just got rescued too, and now it's seeing ghost children.
Yeah.
I wonder if some kids died there or something at one point, in an accident.
Like a fire happened or something.
Oh, that, or I was thinking like a horse hurt them or something, or if they were treating it badly and it got scared.
Maybe.
I don't know, but that's so random. Why would there be ghost kids there?
Right,
you know?
Maybe it was a pair of brothers that got in the car accident and died together, and their best memories were of them being in the stable.
They love
place.
going into the horse
yeah
place.
So that's where they just
so sad and sweet at the same time.
That's where they pour their spirit energy, and that's where they hang out so they can be together forever.
At least they seem like they're having fun there.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute. Okay, our next story was sent in to us by Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. We love it. Sarah says, I had an imaginary family. Oh my god, this one got to my heart a lot, babe. This one's rough, but it's a good story.
All right.
She said, I had an imaginary family, even a dog. I'd tell everyone my parents were looking after me until my real parents came to get me. My imaginary dad was a boxer in the army. I was convinced they were going to take me away. My imaginary mom was just beautiful. My dog was a little black dog called Barney. I'm not sure when exactly I stopped seeing them, but it was later than what would be considered normal. When I was in my 20s, I lost a baby. About 4 weeks after, I contemplated suicide. The day I was going to do it, I woke up to my imaginary mom just sat on the bed next to me, telling me not to be so silly and to be strong. She hugged me so tight, and it was like all the pain melted away for a moment. Woke up the next day, and life didn't seem so terrible anymore.
Oh my god.
Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry, but that's one of the most
the
wild,
saddest
and wild stories I've ever heard, but I'm so glad you're still here.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's the saddest story I think I've ever heard. And I cannot watch Dumbo without crying.
No.
And this is like up there with Dumbo for me. Like when the mom's cradling Dumbo, when she's like locked up and she has her trunk out.
Right.
And then she's singing that poor song to him, and Dumbo's just like,
Not
I
that
just
we're-
want my mom.
Not that we're comparing your situation to Dumbo.
No, but just I'm talking about the feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like this often.
Right. And it's like, it also got me thinking, like, that she had that imaginary, like, not even imaginary friend, like a whole imaginary family. For such a long time that was so real to her. Like, do you think it was probably her family from, like, a past life?
Like, they all could have passed together, maybe.
And then she got reincarnated.
Yeah. And they were just, like, spirit guides for her.
Right. Oh, my God. This story is, like, there's so much to this story.
That's wild.
And it makes my heart, like, freak out. But thank you for sharing that with us, Sarah,
yes,
and being vulnerable. That was a wild one. But we appreciate you very much.
Yes, Sarah.
Okay, moving on, a little bit lighter, kind of, I guess. This is from Reddit user Thor is here 7. Thor said, was alone in my 2-story house, stayed behind because I was sick, and family went to visit a friend of my dad's. Was reading in the living room, back when I used to read a lot, when at noon on the dot came what sounded like footsteps upstairs. Really noticeable due to the...
I'm sorry, Arlo was walking upstairs as you were reading that.
Little Arlo. Were you the footsteps, bud? So he heard footsteps upstairs. Really noticeable due to the hardwood floors up there. I brushed it off for about 2 seconds when they slowly walked to the room right above me.
Oh, no.
Stopping exactly above me. I stared, horrified, at the ceiling, trying to rationalize what it could be. But my pets were outside, no one else was home, and the upstairs windows were painted shut. Then came 2 stomps, while whatever it was above me in that room before silence. I honestly waited a good hour before working the courage to go check it out. I found my shoes in that spot, neatly put together, with toes pointed my direction.
No.
Still don't know what happened.
Ew.
That's creepy. That's
like
more
that.
than, like, disembodied sounds.
Yeah.
Like, something messed with their shoes.
I don't like that.
That was, like, a whole ass, like, setup to freak them out. Oh, my God.
That's like a good short film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Creepy. Thank you, Thor.
Thank you, Thor.
Thor is here 7.
Thor's here.
Okay. So this story is a bit longer, probably one of our longest, and it was sent to us by Alex. Thank you, Alex. Alex said, my childhood home was newly built, so we were the first family that lived in it. But the area around my home was strange. Just up the street, about a 10-minute walk, was a family graveyard with stones dating back to the 1880s. The neighborhood was built around it, so the people buried there were never exhumed. I've never done research, but someone told me it was a farm. There were weird things that happened in my house I couldn't really explain. Nothing overtly paranormal, just really weird things. One time, me and my friend were sitting at the small counter/stove that was located in the middle of the kitchen. We were waiting for mac and cheese to cook. Relatable! When, out of nowhere, a marble drops between us from the ceiling and rolls onto the floor. We both instinctively look up, and there's nothing there. Nowhere a marble could have come from, just blank white ceiling. Another time, I was sitting at my desk on my computer with my headphones on. My bedroom was set up so against one wall was my desk, my bed, and then an armoire with a bunch of stuffed animals on top of it. I felt something hit me in the side of the face, so I looked up, and one of my stuffed animals was sitting on the made bed next to me. I thought my mom had thrown it and looked over, but no one was there. I could hear my mom vacuuming the kitchen downstairs, so there was no way she has thrown something and in a space of a second ended up downstairs. We were the only 2 home.
Oh my God.
One night, my family was in the basement watching a movie. After it ended, we all heard footsteps walking above us on the first floor. My dad thought someone had broken in, so he grabbed his gun and went up to check things out. No one was there. And lastly, I got a cat when I turned 18. The cat was very skittish. Having never owned a cat before, I wasn't very familiar with their temperament, but thought it was normal that she would always hide. I was a bit disappointed because I loved her and wanted to be with her, but she was content hiding in my parents' bedroom under the bed. We moved out when I was about 25 to a new house. Once we got into the new house, it was like a complete 180 happened. Suddenly, she was this friendly, vocal cat that never hid. She was always either laying out in the living room in a sunbeam or laying on a chair. She suddenly was very tolerant of people, loved being around me and my family, and even house guests. It was like a new cat. Something in the house had to be scaring her.
Jeez,
bro, your house is haunted.
Yeah, it must have been really bad.
Oh my god, thank
Must
you,
have been,
Alex.
Awful if like the cat was.
Yeah, it's weird because like the other stories that Alex was like mentioning, they don't seem that like threatening, just kind of like little things here and there. But if the cat is like hiding like that, I feel like it had to have been like at least a little dark, you know, because like animals freaking know.
Yeah, they do. Ouch.
They know how to poke your eye out with their tail.
I know, after having an ocular
migraine. Thanks a lot, Arlo. And thank you, Alex. It was like quadruple stories there?
Yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah. I love this kind of episode. It's so fun.
Same. Actually, the first one,
the marble
one reminds me of like the stories of where people have things appear or disappear out of nowhere. And then like there's a story of I'm gonna totally butcher the story, but
okay.
It was this person and they lost something, and I believe they lost something like at their college dorm, and then they went home to visit and they found it back home. Mm-hmm. Like something like that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, how do you even explain that?
No,
like, what the heck?
There was one I almost put in here, but I could kind of explain it away, but obviously I'm not sure. But when this girl, when she was like little, she got a doll and brought it to Disneyland with her and her family, and they went to a restaurant, and she's pretty sure like because she was like laying down in the booth, and she's pretty sure she like dropped the doll down onto the ground or something, because when they left, they like couldn't find the doll anywhere, and the parents were like, oh man, maybe we left it back at the restaurant. So they went back and it like wasn't at the restaurant, and she was all bummed. And then when they got back home from their trip, it was on her bed.
How do you even explain
it's like
that?
The only thing I could think of would be like they have one of the parents like siblings back home like got her another one and like put it on her bed or something like that,
I guess.
But that would be like reaching. I feel like they would just be like, oh honey, we'll like find you another one. Yeah. So that one was pretty like crazy, because it's not like you lost it in the house and it showed back up in the house.
Yeah.
Like losing it somewhere else,
yep,
and it showing up that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Okay, on to our next story with the little 2 mini stories in between. So this one is from Reddit user Silly Ribcage 987. Where do these people come up with these names? I don't know, but I love it.
I know sometimes like Reddit makes a username for you.
Oh, okay. That's fun. I want to make like a bunch of Reddits and see what names it gives me.
You can just go on a name generator.
That's true. But it's more fun if it's on Reddit. Anyways, Silly Ribcage says, not really creepy, but basically when I was younger, I would wear a little gold bracelet that I had since I was a baby. When I was like 5 or 6, I lost it, and for months we could not find it. One day, I woke up and the bracelet was on my wrist. I was really excited because someone finally found my bracelet, so I went to my mom to ask her if she found it and put it on my wrist, but she got confused and said that it wasn't her. We asked my dad, and he also said no. We were confused because, like I said earlier, we hadn't seen it in months. It couldn't have been my sister because at the time she was 2 or 3 and didn't care or know about the bracelet. Anyways, I know it's not super interesting, but I always wonder what happened. My parents swear it was not them, and that they thought I was the one that found it. It's never creeped me out. I honestly think it was very nice.
That's so crazy.
That would creep me out. That's even further than what we were talking about. Someone put it on you? Are you kidding me?
Like you're wearing it again?
Someone touched your wrist while you were sleeping? Something? Like...
No, that's
why. Yeah. Like, someone in the other dimension just, like, wanted to borrow it for a few months, I guess. And, like, put it back to, like, thank you, here you go.
That's why I feel... Okay, I'll talk about it after.
No, tell me, because you're going to forget.
Okay, I just feel like we're already living in the near future we're thinking of, where we can, like, cross dimensions and timelines like that. Wow. And, like, it's actually us, or, like...
Oh, I see.
Someone we love, or... like something like directly connected to us, like that
to like that, and they like helped her out.
Yeah, that helped them out.
That's sweet. I like that. It's less creepy.
Like, let's say sweet. Like her dad got like to the end of his life. He's like, and like we have at that point into the future, we have this technology available, and like for some reason everyone's just gone. And he's the last one alive, and he remembered this bracelet, and he walks past this, like, jewelry store, and is like, wow, this is, like, the exact same one my daughter had. And so he buys it, and then goes into the machine that takes him back into the past, and then he goes back to that night where he puts the bracelet back on his daughter, and then... and then she wakes up the next day and is like, I didn't do that. And the dad's like, I didn't do that either, because he doesn't know yet that he is going to do it.
I think you should write short stories. What, babe? I want to cry. I love you. That's so sweet. Oh, Ribcage. Thank you for that story.
Yeah.
And for inspiring Marlene to write a short story right now.
Nobody steal my freaking story,
yeah,
dude.
No. Patent that shit. We'll put a trademark on it somehow.
Copyright written.
Exactly.
She.
Okay. So our next story was sent in by Brody. Thank you, Broads. Appreciate it. So Brody says...
Diddy just looked into my soul.
Okay, we have TMZ on this episode.
Let me change it. That was like the scariest thing ever.
Why did we change it from History Channel? I don't understand.
We'll watch Pt.2 Afterlife.
No, that's very fitting. Ooh, creepy hand.
I don't like
hands.
that either.
You need to put like kittens on the TV or something. No crocodile monsters.
The monsters.
That's fitting, but not scary.
Yeah, it's not creepy.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Brody says, about 15 years ago, I was visiting my aunt who lived in Connecticut. I lived in California at the time, so my mom and her arranged for me to stay in Connecticut the whole summer. Well, my aunt had 2 daughters and was pregnant with a third. My aunt, we'll call her Linda, had me stay in the basement so that I could play my GameCube with Call of Duty. My cousins were 11 and 7 at the time. The basement was half renovated, with the unrenovated part being accessible only via a single white door. It had the washer and dryer among storage stuff too. Well, anyway, I was playing Call of Duty, and I swear I heard my younger cousin Olivia saying, "Brody, come find me." I was told the girls couldn't be down there while I was playing Call of Duty, and I didn't recall Olivia coming down the stairs. Either way, I continued to play Call of Duty until I heard a faint knocking on the other side of the door, followed by Olivia's voice. "Come on, Brody. Mommy doesn't need to know I'm down here." I told her, "Hey, get out of there right now. You know you're not supposed to be down there." A couple seconds later, I heard it knocking again. Frustrated that I would have to stop playing Call of Duty, I go upstairs, and lo and behold, who do I see in the living room watching Little Mermaid? My aunt, Olivia, and my other cousin, Alexandria. Olivia and Alexandria were passed out, and my aunt was stroking Olivia's hair. I pulled my aunt aside and told her. She and I went downstairs and got my GameCube and TV, and she moved me to an upstairs room.
No.
After that, she always asked me to go down there with her to do laundry. The creepy part, looking back, It gives me chills. But adolescent me at the time was more angry that I couldn't play my video game.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
That is creepy.
That's a mimic.
Yep.
We don't mess with mimics, so I'm a little worried for that household because he did respond to it, which is like you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, I don't claim any negative energy from the story.
I hope you're okay, Brody. This was for just a summer. I hope your aunt and your cousins are doing okay in that house.
Yeah.
It's probably the renovations. Or I don't know how that works with mimics because I know renovations can like stir up spirits and activity and stuff.
From what I've read, mimics supposedly like it's just like it could, if you ignore it, it could just be like a temporary energy that's just trying to like manifest into like your space. So that's why if you hear anything like it, don't respond,
because then it can't manifest, and I'm pretty sure it's almost always, if not always, is like negative.
Right? Yeah, it's always negative.
But it's like I don't know like how to compare that to like a spirit, so it's not like somebody that's passed on. Do you think it's maybe like something that's never been living kind of thing, that kind of energy?
It could. I'm not sure.
I need to do some we should do a mimic episode if anyone wants to suggest that. That would be fun.
Can I suggest it?
You need to start making a list.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's a few you suggested recently.
Yeah,
and I don't remember the other ones.
Me either anymore.
But thank you, Brody. That's terrifying. I'm glad they had another room to move you into upstairs. So this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. We have 4 more. We'll try to speed through them. Okay, so this is from Reddit user AMHS1992. They said, when I was around 10 or 11 years old, home alone in the middle of the day, I'm in my parents' room folding the laundry. They have a big bedroom, bed at the back, and couch sitting area at the front near the front porch. I have the laundry tipped out on the couch and folded and sorting into piles in my own world. Leaning over with my hair hanging over the side of my face, sort of obscuring my vision. Anyway, through my hair and from the corner of my eye, I see a woman. She's wearing a long white dress, hair pinned up, an umbrella is in one hand, and she's staring my way.
Whoa.
Looked like someone dressed from 100 years ago. She slowly points to the front door with her other hand, and within seconds is gone. I am completely freaked out, and my 10-year-old brain thinks the most logical thing to do is to run and lock the front door. It's a screen door and a wooden door. I go into the kitchen to call my mom and find out when she's coming home, when the doorbell rings. Thinking it's my mom with shopping, she'd usually ring if she had hands full to get us to come and help with the rest. I race down the hallway and open the door for her. It's a man I've never seen before. Dressed in plain clothes, says he's here to check the pool. We had pool maintenance maybe once a month, and he asks if my parents are home. I tell him that yes, Dad's in the shower. If a stranger asks us this, we're told to always say that if we're home alone. He sort of smiles and says, no, he isn't.
Oh.
Can I come in through to check the pool? I'm getting super awkward trying to keep my ground and tell him he can use the side gate. Normal procedure. And he tries to open the door. Tells me again he needs to come in. At this point, I'm freaking out. Awkwardly shut the door in his face and call my dad, who was around the corner. He's home in minutes, and the guy's gone.
Fuck.
No pool guy in sight. They called to see if we had someone scheduled, and we didn't. Still think about it almost 20 years later that I had a guardian angel that day. Because of that woman pointing towards the door.
Dang.
That's creepy.
That is creepy.
Because it's like, it probably was just like a creepy man, maybe trying to like rob the place or like hurt the kid.
You're right.
But just the way that like he smiled and was like, no, he isn't, about their dad being in the shower. Like,
yeah, because it could have been very well like someone like a creeper stalker dude, because he could have seen the dad walk out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because so even if that part isn't like spooky, like
spiritual,
yeah, the woman part definitely
It
is.
100%
Like,
is.
who was that?
Right.
Just like looking out for this kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you were safe.
Yeah, me too.
That's creepy. Okay, moving on to the next one. This one was sent in by Christine. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
We love everyone sending these in.
Yeah, heck
it's super
yeah.
helpful and fun and interesting. So Christine says, this happened to me about a year ago. It all started with very high fever. Then came the severe headaches, nausea, body pains, cough, and cold in the next 24 hours. I went to the hospital. Got blood tests done, took medicines for about a week with little to no change. All the tests indicated nothing out of the ordinary. Then suddenly, on the 7th day, around 1 a.m. in the night, at night, I felt like I had to vomit. I was walking towards the washroom and I fell down as if my brain was turned off all of a sudden. Woke back up in 2 seconds and everything is gone. Literally everything. No fever, no headache, no body pains. Everything is back to normal. It was like magic.
What the heck?
Girl, that's not normal. Have you ever heard of anything like that at all happening?
No, I mean, like, usually, like, I fall asleep and then I feel better and my fever's gone.
Right, but, like, she had to go to the hospital. She was that sick, and it wasn't getting better at all.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
And she woke up back up, like, right away.
Right. Yeah, that's...
Oh, my God.
That's wild. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Christine.
Yes.
That's wild. Honestly, that's, like, the best, because you don't have to go through the stages of, like, well, I'm finally feeling better, but I'm still not, like, 100%, you know?
Right.
You just bounce back up and go to work the next day. Dang, that's crazy. All right, our next story was sent to us by Reddit user Master Oberon. They said, I've never told this story before because it's ridiculous and I'm gonna sound crazy, because it is, and I saw this out of the corner of my eye and never actually saw it, but here it goes. So one day, I was talking to a friend who is Native American. I'm always asking for skinwalker stories and other scary legends. Whenever we talk, and she shares some stuff here and there, and has actually invited me over for when her family gathers and shares these tales, but haven't had the chance yet. Anyways, I asked her which of these things scare her the most. She replied, the little people. I never pressed her on any backstory on them. How little were these people, or why was she afraid of them? And I eventually forgot to reply back. However, the very next day, I'm over at my sister's house visiting to see my niece and nephews. My sister needed to run some errands, so I was on babysitting duty. Mind you, I completely forgot about the conversation the day before and was carrying along as usual. My youngest nephew needed a diaper change. Not the scary part. So I get the stuff to change him on the couch. Coming out of the kitchen, out of the corner of my eye, I swear on everything, this little thing comes running into the living room. Nothing separates the kitchen from the living room except the island counter. I don't even know what to call it except a little person. I'm bent down trying to change my nephew, but freeze as I notice it, mostly coming from behind me, but my peripheral vision allowing me to make out something moving with tiny legs. I was stunned, and so was it, because as soon as it saw me in the living room, it stopped dead in its tracks. Well, I was too frozen to move. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I didn't want to make any sudden movements and turn directly at the thing. I just stopped moving, hoping not to startle it if I turned to look. It started moving backwards, slowly, and that's when I turned my head to catch a glimpse of whatever the fuck it was. But it was already gone, and no fucking clue where in the world it went. I still don't believe in that shit, but I can't even explain this properly. Maybe it was something else, IDK, but it is the most unexplainable thing that's happened to me. I
feel like that's so disturbing too, because in my mind I'd be like, okay, it's still in here somewhere.
Exactly. And then it's like, what if I see it again?
Yeah.
You know? And like, I have these 3 children here, at least 3 kids to worry about. You can't like grab all of them.
Like, I think that it's always hiding behind like behind a wall, like in the corner, just kind of peeking out.
Because it can hide anywhere if it's that small.
Yeah. Behind the couch.
Like
under the couch.
My feet are down there. Don't say that. Damn. That one's... I've never heard something like that before. I've never heard of, like, little people in that context, you know?
Right, yeah. Unless they're, like, duendes or something.
Oh, yeah, that could be similar. Like the little elves.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. So, this is our last story for the episode. And it was sent to us by Julie. Thank you, Julie. Coming in clutch, everybody. Okay. So, Julie says, I grew up Catholic, and for my first communion in elementary school, one of my aunts got me a ceramic music box shaped like a Bible. It didn't open or anything, just a ceramic book-shaped thing with a recessed spot in the back where the twisty thing was to turn to crank up the music. I had a hutch over my dresser where little knickknacks went, and that's where the Bible music box was placed and then promptly forgotten about. Fast forward several years, and I'm in high school. I wanted to make more room for pictures and other cool teen stuff, so I began to clear off the shelves on the hutch with the end goal of sticking the old stuff in a box in the attic. It was nice stuff, I just had no interest in having it on display. That little music box was one of the things I was going to toss in the box, but I knew it needed to be wrapped in tissue paper or something, so I set it on a little step stool I had to remind me to get that done the next day. In high school, I'd often have a really hard time getting to sleep at night. Thanks, undiagnosed narcolepsy. Jeez. Naturally, one of these nights rolled around a few days after I had started the clearing out process. Being a forgetful teenager, the music box still sat on the little step stool and the box of stuff had yet to be taken to the attic. So I'm laying in bed in the dark for hours. This was at least 15 years ago, so I couldn't even scroll on my phone. I just lay and wait for hours for sleep to come. Finally, I can feel myself start to doze off, and I remember feeling relieved. As I'm just about to drift fully into sleep, the music box starts playing.
Ugh.
Not just one note. It plays the melody and continues to play. Keep in mind that this was days after I moved it off the shelf, so it wasn't some residual thing that got tripped. The step stool was also very firmly on the ground, and nothing else moved or made any noise in the house. Now, usually, when you wind up a music box, even all the way, it only plays for a little while, like less than a minute. This kept going and going. I had never heard any music box play even close to that long when cranked, which this one was not. I can't remember what song it was, but it was some hymn, which of course made things way creepier.
Right.
I was obviously paralyzed with fear, just waiting for it to stop. When it became clear that it wasn't ending and had passed all logical possible durations, I decided I had to get my courage up and get out of bed to look at it. I could usually take one big step out of bed to get to my light switch. After at least another 30 seconds to a minute of psyching myself up, I leapt out of bed and turned the light on. The music box stopped.
Jeez.
I love paranormal creepy stuff, but nothing like that ever happened in that house before or since. It was new construction, no scary backstory. I have no clue what the hell happened that night, but that music box went straight into the attic the next day.
Fuck, I bet.
Ooh, that's
creepy. Yeah.
Like, I wonder if maybe, like, the music box was from, like, a secondhand store that her aunt got it from or something. That could be, like, the only thing.
I guess, yeah. That would be, like, a good explanation.
Yeah. Or Julie has, like, something attached to her, but if that's all she's ever experienced, ever, I feel like it has to be the music box. Julie, let us know. Ask your aunt where she got that thing, because I need to know.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
That is creepy as fuck.
Ugh. I love these. These are so fun. That was all. That was a good time.
That was a good time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for everyone that sent them in.
Yeah, they oh my gosh.
I love hearing these. They're I think
we should do that, like, once.
I kind of just
once in a while.
I do it, like, whenever I have a good collection piled up, you know. So keep sending them in, you guys. If you've already sent one in, You can send us another one. Like,
yeah, please.
I feel like first of all, for like some of these, I feel like you live in a haunted house, so there's got to be more stories, right?
Or you just write a spooky story.
Oh, we should have like a contest for like the best spooky short story. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Let's just do all the things here. Why not? We're on a spinning rock in the middle of space.
Who cares?
Not me.
Not me.
Yay. I'm glad we're on the same page. That was a fun one. I like doing these a lot.
Sounds good, but we need to go. We need to get ready for...
We have obligations.
So we should get to those. But thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much. You're the best.
Best stories out there. Please send them. And
even mediocre stories, we'll take those too.
Yeah.
No judging.
But thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you. We see you. We love you.
And
until next time,
stay
spooky.
Stay spooky. That was 10,000 times harder than I need to be. I think we're just being dumb. Okay, stay spooky.
Stay spooky. Bye.
Bye.